Spidey painted the traffic signal light red and surprisingly it actually stopped the train. He had just pushed his luggage up when the administrator spotted him. He didn't have time to run, so he hurriedly crawled under the train. But at that moment, the train suddenly started moving. Fortunately, he was quick on his feet and avoided being crushed. However, the two administrator uncles were already chasing after him. He kept running and directly jumped onto the conveyor belt, pressed the button, and the conveyor belt started. Then, little Spidey climbed up along it and jumped straight into the carriage. Luckily, it was full of sand inside. The train continued onward and soon arrived at the next station, the industrial area. However, before the train had even stopped, little Spidey saw several security inspectors approaching again. He began looking for a place to hide. This time, it was the shelves. But after he got in, he realized his box was still outside, and those security inspectors were about to arrive. Thanks to his quick reaction, he timely pulled the box back in. The inspector bent down and looked under the shelves, but there was nothing. The inspector glanced to the side, and Spidey hid inside the caravan. The security guard had seen some movement earlier, but couldn't get into the caravan, so he climbed up to the window and said, "Hey, this feels a bit off." Little Spidey crossed his arms over his chest, held his breath, and stayed completely still. You have to say, it really looked like it. The inspector thought they were just 3 decorations, so he was fooled and left. Only then did little Spidey breathe a sigh of relief. He planned to wash his face, but then discovered the faucet had no water. He had been away from his parents for 2 days, and everything around him was so unfamiliar. Although he was only 10 years old, he was already a genius, which is why he had made it this far so smoothly. No matter whether his parents agreed or not, he was determined to go to Washington, even if it was thousands of miles away.